right, welcome back to Andersen Acres. We're here today setting up a brooder box for Gemini. She's going to have her babies probably in 3 or 4 days, so it's time to get her set up in a brooder box. Now, this brooder box is about 2 feet by 3 feet. That's not big enough for Gemini, but that's okay. There's a little door on the side of this brooder box that I'll show you in a few minutes. That is just to keep her, able to free range. She needs to be able to get out of here, but this is a good spot for her to have her babies. I will put a link to this particular box. It's marketed as a rabbit cage. If you've followed my channel at all, you know that I do not like cages for rabbits. I don't think it's a good idea. I don't do it, but this makes a good brooder box. Okay? It makes a wonderful box. It has a nice lid that the camera's perched on, so I can't show you the lid because the camera's perched on, the camera will fall down. But it's got a nice lid that closes. It's got a nice little side door on the bottom that she can go in and out of. It does come with this wire rack to stick on the bottom, but I don't use this. Okay, I don't like this. It's not good. I don't enjoy using those. I don't like rabbits on wire of any kind. So I don't use wire of any kind for my buns. But so let's just talk about the kind of setup we need, because Gemini, she's probably not going to have her babies in this box, to be honest. She's probably having them on my bed. But on the off chance that she decides this box is a fantastic place to actually have her babies, it should be set up properly. So we start out, the box has just a plastic bottom for easy cleanup, but the babies need somewhere to be. So you'll notice I have a corner litter box here. This is not big enough for Gemini to use normally. This is just in here, one, so when the babies start to grow up a little bit, they have access to a litter box. But also, two, if Gemini is in here having her babies and she needs to use the washroom real fast, it's right there. So she has a bigger litter box that she just comes out to use because that's the way we do it. She has nice big litter boxes. That's just kind of an emergency and for the babies as they're growing up. There's also food and water dish in the corner here. There's no water in her right now, and there's only minimal food because Gemini's not in here right now, obviously. She's not here. She's on my bed. That's probably where she's going to be. But let me just show you what we do to set this up. So this particular cage, which I call a brooder box, has actually this removable divider here. Okay, so I take this out normally if I'm using this as a run-in for rabbits, but for having babies, this is perfect. So this piece just looks like this, and it just slides into the grooves. Watch, now I can't get it back in because I'm filming, but it slides into the grooves. There we go. Just like that. So it just slides in, so she's able to run in. We need to line the bottom. She can't have her babies flat on plastic like that. It's not good. She needs some kind of bedding. Now, if you're outside, you might use straw or shavings. I'm not going to use that. I actually have things that I use specifically when I'm having babies inside. These are fantastic. What brand are these? I think I remember. Guinea Dad. These are Guinea Dads. Okay, you can get them on Amazon. But these are washable, reusable, little, almost like pee pads. But they're really soft, really good. So I just put these in the bottom. Yes, you'll notice Gemini's chewed this one up. She chewed it up last year. It's still usable. She doesn't eat the pieces. It's not a big deal. So I stick that in there, like that. And then Gemini has a real love for these little pet blankets. You can get them in all kinds of colors. I've got red ones, black ones, this rainbow one. I've got a brown one, a gray one. I've got lots. And she really loves these fleece blankets. So what I do, take a fleece blanket, make a nice long, almost rope out of it, but I don't tie it or anything. And then I just start lining the edges. Okay? And I do that with 3 or 4. Now, what you want to do, if you have a brooder box for your girl, you want it set up on day 28. So the day you breed is day 0. Okay? Day 1 is the day after you breed. So exactly 4 weeks after you breed, you want to set up a brooder box because rabbits tend to kindle on day 31. Give or take a day or two, 31 is pretty much dead on. Gemini tends to kindle actually the very late evening of day 30. So pretty much day 31. So we just kind of line the box with these guys. And we set it up. And on day 28, we let her have access to this. But frankly, she runs in here all the time because it's open all year round. So you can see she's chewed this blanket a little bit. Chewed it up just a little bit. But that happens. Rabbits are chewers. Make sure if you're using fabric, your rabbit doesn't actually ingest it. So if she was the kind of rabbit that would swallow this, this would not be a good idea. But I don't like using shavings and straw and stuff in the house. So that's kind of just like a little nest. It allows her to get in and out, no problem. She will hopefully pull fur and have them in there. She's probably not gonna. Probably not. So the other part this has, this comes with a board to sit on top of here. There we go. We've now enclosed our nest box. That's really important. And it gives her somewhere to jump up and get away from the babies if she doesn't want to leave completely. That's really important. Now this particular cage also comes with a ramp. The ramp attaches right here. I don't use the ramp. I find it annoying. But it has the ramp and it has the grate. I don't use either of those pieces. I just drop the ramp. Go me. Doesn't matter, I don't use it anyway. So I don't use the ramp and I don't use the grate. But that's how she's set up. So if she's in here and doesn't want to leave, she can jump up on top of that brooder box. And she can just get away from the babies as they're scrambling around. I do have food and water. I will fill up that water shortly. I'll do that off camera. You don't need to watch me fill water bottles. But let me just see. Where is Gemini? Gemini! Let's just see if I can get her to go in. Here she is. I found her. So what I like to do when I introduce her, I like to put her down on this part here, on the top of the nest box, and just kind of let her figure things out. She knows this. She's been in here a lot. So we're just going to ignore my hand for a second, and we're just going to take the camera. Take the camera. Hey. Hey. Now we're all blurry. That is okay. There we go. Yeah, now she's down. So she's going to think about going in there. There we go. She's checking it out. Might go in the house. That's where I'm hoping she'll have her babies. Honestly, she probably won't. And if you're wondering, she can't stay in this. This is too small for her. No room to stretch her legs. But go down in here. Reach out here to this clasp. This actually falls down and is a door. Yeah, there's your door. Sorry, I closed it. And has a door that serves as a ramp. So she can get in and out, but then if I have to close the babies in, I can just close this up. But I know, sorry, I didn't mean to close your door. So she doesn't like her door closed. She goes in here all the time, even when she's not having babies. So now she's inside there. Hopefully she will decide to have babies in here. She never has before. They're always on my bed. Yeah, you going to leave? That's an empty litter box. Let's kick that out of the frame. That's an empty one. There's a couple of full ones behind me. But that is basically how you set up a nice little brooder box for your buns. She does like being up there. And it's a good place to escape to babies. So this does not mean she gets locked in here. This is just a safe place to have the babies. And it allows me to close it up in case there's any cats in the room. Because even though my cats are really, really good, I don't trust them with baby bunnies. So this allows me to quickly shut it in if a cat gets in here. Because cats and baby bunnies don't mix. Do not fall over the edge. And yes, the lid just comes down like that. Right? And it has a little latch just so she can't jump out and hurt herself. Because you know she will. She's deciding what she's going to do with this setup since I added the nest box. Usually I don't have the nest box in. This is just open and she just runs in and out, no big deal. But she's going to have babies in a few days, so adding the nest box now is not a bad idea. She seems pretty happy with it. But this is kind of your basic setup. I will put a link to this particular cage in the description, but you can use anything. You can use any cage as long as she can come out. See, she's going to come out. No problem. She comes out and runs around because she doesn't get locked up. She's my gem. She doesn't get locked up. And there's a chair full of bunny stuff here. If you're wondering why the chair's full of stuff, that's bunny stuff. I'm ready for her to have babies. Anyway, that's about it for us here today at Andersen Acres. Remember to set up your brooder box on day 28 and expect a kindle, which means having babies. Kindling is having babies for a rabbit. Expect them to kindle on day 31 or thereabouts. You know, give or take a day or two. If they haven't kindled by day 35, they're probably not going to. But day 31 is accurate for, almost all rabbits. It's pretty good. So, yeah, she's back in there. See, she likes this place. But have it set up, have it ready. Don't confine Mama to this kind of space for the entirety of her pregnancy. That won't be fun for her. And remember that she only has to visit them twice a day anyway. So if you do need to have the babies locked up in something like this, it's okay if Mama can't get to them every single second as long as she's feeding them twice a day. We'll talk more about that after the babies have arrived. So with that said, we'll see you tomorrow.